Thank you for your continued participation with the Search for Diabetes in Youth Food Security Study. Due to the pandemic, we are introducing a new way to collect data in Search that will rely on you collecting small amounts of blood on a card and mailing it back to us once it dries. This process is fairly simple and very similar to when you check your blood glucose at home using your glucometer. In fact, if you prefer, you can use your own lancets to draw blood for the finger stick. But we've included several extras in case you do not want to use your own. You should have received a kit that looks like this in the mail. Before you begin, please unpack the whole kit, familiarize yourself with the contents, then please wash your hands with warm water and make sure your hands are warm and dry. If your hands are too cold, you may have trouble getting enough blood. Inside the kit, you should see your cover letter, a printed set of these instructions, your consent fact sheet that you previously reviewed, a square absorbent pad, also called a Chuck's pad, non-latex gloves if you want someone to help you with the blood draw, 2 alcohol pads, 2 lancets, 2 filter paper cards with 5 circles for the blood spots, 3 gauze pads, 2 adhesive bandages, 1 Ziploc freezer bag, 1 desiccant packet, and the prepaid return shipping envelope. If something is missing, please stop and call the number for a research assistant on the consent sheet or the cover letter. A team member can be reached at the phone number on the sheets in your kit. Remember, please do not put your name on anything we have sent you. You should see an identification number on the filter paper cards and the mailers. That is what we will use to identify you while protecting your confidentiality. Please write down the date and time you collected the samples on the cards before you begin. Now that you are ready to begin, determine which hand you want to use for the finger stick. Your middle 3 fingers are best to use while avoiding the thumb and pinky fingers. Wipe the fingertip that you want to use with one of the alcohol wipes. Let it dry completely and shake or pump your hand to help promote blood flow. With one of the lancets we have provided, or your own if you prefer, hold your hand steady as you trigger the lancet with your other hand. Discard the lancet once you have poked your finger. Release the pressure and allow a full drop of blood to form on your finger. Once the drop of blood has collected on the finger, use the gauze pad to wipe away the first drop of blood. It may take a minute or two or a second or two for the next drop of blood to form. Once you have a new drop of blood, attempt to obtain 5 good spots. You might not be able to fill all 5 spots with one poke, and that's okay. You may have to wait a little while for the blood to fall onto the card. Once the full drop of blood has formed, try and aim it directly over the card. It may take a few seconds. Please do your best, but keep a few things in mind. Please don't try to drop the blood on the card until a full drop has formed. As you can see here, this can happen if you get a very small amount of blood before a full drop has formed. Don't try to allow 2 spots into the same circle or to have spots overlap by placing them too close together. Do your best to keep the spot inside the circle and not having them overlap across circles. You don't want to place your finger directly on the card. This is called blotting, and if you do that, the spot will look like this and it will have an irregular shape. At the same time, you also want to do your best to not bring the card directly up to your finger, because if you do that, you'll get a very small drop like this. In general, the biggest thing you want to keep in mind is to let the blood drop fall naturally, even if it isn't perfect. If you need to poke another finger, that's okay. Repeat the previous instructions, cleaning the next finger that you want to use with an alcohol pad. Wipe away the first blood drop. Then try to fill out the rest of the card. You can try to fill out the second card if you want to increase the chances of getting one good spot and not needing to repeat the collection process. But 1 card should be sufficient. When you're done collecting spots, hold the gauze to your fingertip until the bleeding stops and cover with an adhesive bandage, also called a Band-Aid. When you are done, please lay the filter paper flat and allow to dry for 4 hours. The card should be dried at room temperature and away from insects and direct sunlight. Once the card has dried, please fold it and place it in the Ziploc freezer bag with the desiccant packet. Desiccant packets help remove excess moisture. You may have seen something like this when you bought new shoes or other products. Place the sealed Ziploc bag with the sample cards and the desiccant in the prepaid mailer, seal it, and drop it off at your local post office or wherever your mail is collected. Please try to send this out the same day. If you collect your sample on a Saturday or Sunday, you can store the sample card or cards in the sealed freezer bag in your freezer at home and mail it on Monday. Please call the number on your information sheet if you run into problems, have questions, or need more collection materials. Once we receive your samples, we will send you a gift card as a thank you for your participation. Thank you so much for your continued participation in the Search for Diabetes in Youth Food Security Study. Good luck, and let us know if you need help. Thank you.